Welcome to the second episode of Insight. For the next 10 episodes, we're going to be covering our 10 core values. And today, we're going to be talking about...
Food is key to functionality.
So as you've probably seen from our Instagram stories and our Another Day series, we're always out and about just eating, trying new cafes and restaurants. And even in the studio, we're always eating.
I have snacks hidden behind the iMac. So in the last 5 years, I think what we've realized and like what's really important to our dynamic is eating and like food in general, but not just fueling our bodies, but I guess like fueling our minds as well. So how about we start with mind food?
Yeah, sure.
Cool. Do you want me to talk about a bit about it first?
Yep.
Cool. So when we say mind food, I think this is the way that we've distinguished the two. So mind food is like podcasts, books, articles, anything that like you consume to like better, that you learn from. And I guess that's changed a lot for us in the last 5 years, like how we consume media. So I, for example, listen to a lot of podcasts. I spend a lot of time driving to and from places. And I think I found a lot of value in listening to podcasts. I never really understood it until recently. Like, I just don't have time to sit down and read a book and consume like education and learning that way. I find that it's a lot easier to listen to other people, especially like listening to other people riff off each other and bounce ideas off. I feel like I'm part of that, like while I'm in my car. But what do you do? Because yours is very different to mine.
Yeah, so for me, I've never really picked up a book for the past 20 years until last year. I started reading, and I still struggle with reading, and mainly books. I mainly struggle with reading books.
Why?
I don't have the attention span to sit down and read through a book. It normally takes me about like a month or two to read through a book.
Yeah, we had the same book, and I think you borrowed it. He was using it. He was reading it for like 2 weeks, and he gave it to me in a night. I finished the book in one night with like notes and everything, and you still hadn't even gotten like halfway through.
But yeah, so I know that I struggle with reading, which is why at the start of the year I signed up for Medium, and it's really changed the way I read because they're really short articles, and I don't need to spend too much energy and attention trying to power through a book. I can just read different topics, and it keeps everything engaging and fresh, and it's really changed the way I read.
I think also you can take it with you.
Yeah, I can read it on the go, on the bus, on the phone, wherever. Yeah, it's been a nice game changer for me.
But what were we doing before? I think the difference is, like, before I even, like, listened to podcasts, I guess I was reading, like, whatever on the internet, but it was sort of, like, here and there. Whereas, like, if you're making the decision to, like, consume this media, it makes it a lot more easier for you to, like, absorb it because you're the one who went out in the first place to look for it. I think it's, like, taking the initiative to want to learn. I think that it's a different way to the way that you learn in university or high school.
Yeah. They just throw it at you and you have to absorb it.
It's like not fun. It's not like interesting for you to learn. And I mean, maybe it's just us.
Yeah.
I think like a lot of people like get it a lot better. Maybe we're just not very good at like studying.
We need to have the initiative to learn instead of just throwing stuff.
Yeah, like the motivation to do it. But I find that like it keeps you, like everyone in the industry talks about like keeping up to date with like industry trends, and I find it really hard. For so long I was like, what even is an industry trend? But like the more you are in the space, even just being in the space, listening to podcasts, interacting in like live streams or design online conferences and stuff, just being in the space kind of gets you like up to date. You still have more stuff to do, like reading.
And you learn from a lot of thought leaders in the industry.
Yeah.
And they kind of shape how trends work.
Yeah, it's not like a book. It's not like you're going to buy like a design trends for 2019.
It's always changing. Every day. Yeah. A new trend might come out next week and everyone's going to hop on board. Yeah. And it's always good to keep up to date with like how you can use new trends or whatever to better yourself. If not, just do what you normally do and be aware of it, I think, is important.
Yeah, but I think the mindset is you're still trying to learn. You're still trying to like improve yourself. So I think that's what's really like important to us in terms of mind food. The second one, the fun one, is like, I don't like the word, body food, consumable food, tasty food. I think this part is mainly about eating well, eating on time.
Yeah.
I'm really bad at eating on time.
Yeah.
Like for so long I didn't even eat lunch. Like I think I'm that kind of person that when I start something, I like to see it through. I guess the same way I read. I start something, I want to finish it like there. If I take a break, I'm worried I'm gonna like lose. Yeah, I'm gonna lose like momentum. So it's hard for me to like walk away. But eating on time is like really important. I've learned how to eat lunch in the last
year.
like 3 months. I've been eating lunch like every day. I'm working on breakfast.
Yeah, that's another challenge.
Yeah.
Breakfast. And how do you keep track of everything?
Notion. Sponsor us, please. No, yeah, we've been using Notion to track, to make sure that we're stopping and taking breaks. Just me, really, with meals. You're really good at eating on time. And you eat really healthy food as well.
Sometimes fast food as well, but keep a good balance. Balance is key. Yeah, I think... Yeah, without consistent food, my body starts to deteriorate and like eats itself.
Yeah, and I didn't understand that. I thought it was stupid. I was like, I'm just gonna eat when I want to eat. But I found after time I was burning out a lot more. Whereas you were like consistent. Like, you were just like a train. You just kept going. I'm like this broken car. I just kept stopping.
Like the sprints.
Yeah, I was like work really hard, realize I hadn't eaten for hours, eat, get really tired, sleep. And I feel like it's a really I'm trying to eat and talk, it's not working. It's like a really unhealthy way to work. And I think a lot of creatives like work through the night as well, and I find that in the nighttime, like I'll work really, really hard, I want to take a break to stop and snack. And like it burns you out, like it's just not a good way to do
So I'm
things.
trying to learn how to take it slow, like a marathon.
I don't even know how to do the marathon.
Slowly.
Yeah, and then I think that leads into like eating, like how it even like we're back at the beginning again, but like how it started.
Yeah.
We're like eating together.
At uni.
Yeah, I think that's something that like you struggled with.
Yeah, I struggled with eating during uni because every day was different, and sometimes there's 5-hour breaks, sometimes there's 2-hour breaks, and it's really hard to fit in a whole meal in there.
Yeah, and like eating is expensive. And like we were uni students as well, and like bringing food for like an 8-hour day, trying to keep it just doesn't work.
Yeah.
So
I
think
survived on like tiny teddies and jalapenos.
yeah, Keith would eat like just a bag of tiny teddies for like the whole day. Whereas like I'd work really hard, like get really, really hungry at the end of the day and smash down a burger. But like in that whole time, I think eating together was something like we did before as like friends, and even like now. Even now when we work, we'll try and take breaks at the same time. So we're always eating together.
Taking a break from work.
Yeah. I think it's really important. Maybe, I guess it stems from like the whole family thing. Like as a family, I know it's the same for you. Like eating together is like a really important part of the day because everyone gets together and you check in with the other person. And I think it's just really important, especially in like relationship building. And like building the trust between the two of us. I don't think we would have. Can you imagine how awkward it'd be if like we still like didn't know how to eat together? Like I feel like it's also a skill in a way.
Yeah, eating with people.
Eating with people.
Not making a mess.
But yeah, I think it's it's important.
It's a foundation.
Yeah. And I know there's a lot of like there's controversy out there about like coffee, like having coffee with someone is like a waste of time. I don't think so. I would say that it's like a meal, like having a meal with... I'd like to have meals like we try and have coffee, catch up with all of our clients, because I think it's a meal. It's a bonding experience.
Sometimes even if we are talking about work, it's still a good time to just take a break as well.
Yeah.
It's a nice balance between eating and working as well. Sorry for the abrupt cut. The camera died on us again, like last time. But that wraps up the second episode of Inside. Let us know what you think.
Let us know if you're more like a me, trying to just work through and not eat, or if you're like Keith and you stop
take a break.
Come back. Yeah, I'd like to know what everyone's process is and how it's changed over the years.
Yeah, or what your goals are.
Or if you have any advice for me, that would be great. Help me out, please. Also, check out our Another Day that we uploaded that last week.
Yep.
But yeah, more to come.
Yeah. Stay tuned for next episode. We're going to be covering another core value. And I hope to see you soon. Bye.